things that we don't see as things that we see. For this year to be successful, for this year for us to have a breakthrough, we must perceive things that we do not see as seen, as things that will happen. We must begin to declare that we shall overcome. Though the year could have been tough, but we must begin to declare that we shall overcome because the Lord is on our side. And I want to say that sometimes faith demands us to keep on moving. As we move, the answers will keep on revealing itself. As we trust and move, the answers will begin to come out. Faith is not seeing to believe. Faith is believing to see. That's why those that are waiting to see are not walking in faith. But if you believe to see, then we'll be walking in faith. For you to please God, you must apprehend those things that you do not see as things that are seen. That's why he tells Martha that if you don't believe, then you'll see the glory. So we must believe to see. And as a summary, I want to tell you, viewers, that the Lord is with you. He is watching you. He knows that the areas of your life where your faith seem not to attract, the areas of your life that you seem to wonder, but those are the areas that the Lord is calling you to believe. Those are the areas that the Lord is saying, believe. I know it's tough, but I am with you. Allow me to pray with you as I summarize. Father, in the mighty and powerful name of His Son, Jesus Christ, we thank you, O Lord, for this beautiful moment the Lord you have given unto us, Lord. I pray the Lord as your daughters and sons will be listening as they listen to the word. The Lord, the faith will be increased. The Lord, they will see more of you. That this year 2021, they will walk in faith. Open the doors and the windows, O God, and bless the children. Bless the works, Jehovah. We lift and thank you for this, our humble prayer. In Jesus' name we pray. Once again, I am Evangelist Kenneth Odongo from CFF Umoja. Shalom.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
Wahudumu wa afya wa kutosha ni moja kati ya nguzo muhimu za kufanikisha mfumo wa afya unaofanya kazi vizuri katika juhudi za kufikia lengo la kuboresha afya ya wananchi. Kuhusiana na juhudi hizi, Kenya imepiga hatua nzuri katika kuhakikisha kwamba kuna wahudumu wa afya wa kutosha, kwani inakaribia sana kufikia viwango vilivyopendekezwa na shirika la afya duniani WHO.
We have for the last 3 years been working to expand our services, to upgrade our facilities, and we had a very big challenge with the human resource because when you introduce a service, you introduce lab, you have to employ a lab technologist.
Being a nurse here, it has improved the maternal health and also the child health in this area, actually, because I also speak their language.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome to the party. I am making my own creations to help me capture the slurs. Hello! I call them...
Hello, kitty!
The naughties.
Yeah!
Deeply disappointing experiments. Nothing can stop me now!
Master, let me get Smurfette. I'm going in! You can do it! Gotcha! Oh no! They're taking Smurfette! So long, Smurf! Let's go!
To get Matthew chapter 7 verse 7 as your skiza tune, dial star 811 star 817 hash.
Matthew 7:7. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it shall be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks the door is opened for him.
To get skiza tune, dial star 811 star 817 hash. star 811 star 817 hash.
Mwaka mpya na vitu noma zaidi kwenye quickbit.co.ke. Siku ya leo tunakupa Von 4 burner gas cooker.
Oh yes, na tunakuambia ni rahisi zaidi. Enda kwenye simu yako, lipa na M-Pesa, paybill number 4032353 4032353. Kisha enda kwenye account, ekelea kodi ni CK56 CK94, alafu amount ni 20 bob peke yake.
Alafu kumbuka utaekelea pin yako. Hivyo ndivyo utakuwa umekelea bid kwenye quickbit.co.ke. Ni bidhaa bora zaidi kwenye bei ya nini?
Chini kwa chini. Chini kwa chini.
Jiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio ununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on KBC Channel 1. This is the Lunchtime News. My name is Irene Muchuma Odim. My co-anchor on sign language interpretation this afternoon is Lucy Mwaura. Now, did you know 10,000 people travel out of the country to seek medication, and they are said to spend more than 10 billion shillings annually? This is a conversation you would love to be part of as we engage an expert in the health industry. Do interact with us on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Top story this afternoon. The Constitution Amendment Bill 2020 has been tabled in the County Assembly of Kilifi, paving way for public participation. Meanwhile, residents in all 5 constituencies that make up Laikipia County have given their opinion about the proposed law, and it now awaits debate in the County Assembly.
On Wednesday, Kilifi County Assembly gave the go-ahead for public participation on the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020, promoted by the Building Bridges Initiative for debate. Starting Thursday, the electorate in all 35 wards in the 7 constituencies will get a chance to air their views on the proposed amendments to the Constitution. County Assembly Speaker Jimmy Kahindi Kadhua says MCAs will decide the fate of the bill on Wednesday, March 10th, 2021.
Received it 2 weeks ago, but the steps that we took as an assembly was first to take the members through, which we did for a whole week. We got experts who took the members through the entire bill, and they were able to understand it. The reason for doing so is because after the tabling today, tomorrow the members of the County Assembly will be proceeding for public participation.
Meanwhile, Laikipia County Assembly has also subjected the Constitution Amendment Bill 2020 to public participation. The exercise was carried out in all the 5 sub-counties, where the public came out in large numbers to give their views before the bill is debated by the County Assembly.
Kama wana Laikipia, tumeona umuhimu ya kutambua mwananchi, juu mwananchi ndio muamuzi na yeye ndiye mpiga kura mwenye dakika ya mwisho kwa referendum, yeye bado ndiye atapitisha. Ndio maana kama bunge ya Laikipia County tumeona umuhimu tukuje tusikize maoni ya Wanjiko.
Ni kila mwananchi aweze kusoma, aweze kuelewa na akuwe na ile ownership ile document. Ndiye asisemewe ya kwamba ilisemekana kiongozi fulani anasema ni mzuri, so kwa hivyo mimi napitisha. Hapana, ni mwananchi one manufaa yake.
Most county assemblies, including Nairobi, are expected to dispense with the debate on the bill today. Currently, 7 counties have given it the thumbs up, while a petition challenging the outcome of a vote by the Baringo County Assembly, which rejected the document, is pending in court.
Police in Narok South Sub-County are investigating an incident where the official car of Kisii Deputy Governor Joash Mangi was torched by a irate mob after it was involved in a road accident that left 2 people dead last evening. The area Deputy Police Commander Magdalene Chebet said the vehicle was traveling from Kisii to Nairobi when it hit a middle-aged man and his 8-year-old child who were on a motorbike at Ololunga area along Narok-Bomet Highway. According to Chebet, the deputy governor, who was traveling on his official vehicle registration number CG 045028, stopped to assess the impact of the accident. However, a furious crowd consisting of men working in a nearby quarry and bodaboda operators had already started flocking the scene of the accident and started threatening the deputy governor. Upon sensing danger, the deputy governor, his bodyguard, and the driver took off. The irate mob, however, after missing the deputy governor, started hitting his vehicle with stones to a point that the vehicle burst into flames.
We lost a father and the child. Following up the reports, we were able to get information and even talk with the bodyguard and the driver, and they said they were safe. They had to escape to run away from the scene because they realized their lives was in danger.
Mental health experts now want the Ministry of Education to mainstream guidance and counseling training for learners as an alternative to caning in schools to rectify negative behavior. The experts, who attribute the current unrest in institutions of learning to mental instability among learners, say counseling was more sustainable in helping learners develop life skills to deal with emerging challenges.
The ongoing wave of unrest in secondary schools has raised anxiety among Kenyans. While the government, through the Ministry of Education, has issued directives, including the reintroduction of corporal punishment to help stem the problem, there has also been a call for the national government to consider counseling for learners.
Fire setting is one of the symptoms of a mental health problem that we call conduct disorder, which is very common among the teens. So we cannot rule out the possibility of a mental health problem.
Mental health experts who attribute the school's unrest to mental instability say guidance and counseling were the only keys to solving the problem once and for all.
Let our students be given proper guidance and counseling so that they can be able to know the issues affecting them, so that they can be able to understand what is this that is making them to behave in the manner the way they are behaving.
Elsewhere, teachers and parents of Kayole Secondary School are a worried lot after a number of students in the school tested positive for marijuana, nicotine and alcohol. The test was carried out after teachers noticed unlikely behavior among some students.
We really had to have this today because of the issues that have come up. most of our students have fallen to drugs and substance abuse. We really would want them to get assisted because the environment they come from, the Kayole environment, has a lot of drugs and a lot of peddlers and a lot of sellers.
The school deputy principal Amos Mwangi is now calling upon the government to ensure regular counseling for learners across the country.
We will not get tired until all our students, they become chemical-free, drug-free, and they're able to live their life to the full.
Finally, Drink Kick and Spread Truth Africa, a youth lobby group, want mental health stakeholders to come together and tackle the rising pandemic among the youth. The group made the appeal as it presented their commitment to youth mental wellness by supporting the Mental Health Wellness Week.
The issue of mental wellness, soundness, is a discussion that all of us as youth of this country need to discuss. And we need to bring on board all the stakeholders and all the partners to make sure that it's a campaign that we succeed. Because
Purity Museo, Channel 1 News.
A senior Kenya Defence Forces officer has been arraigned before a special court-martial sitting in Isiolo to answer to charges of committing a civil crime by obtaining money by false pretense. Sergeant Andrew Muchuma is accused of obtaining a sum of 300,000 shillings while promising to enlist a recruit into the military during the recruitment exercise conducted in December 2019.
In the first count, Sergeant Andrew Muchuma was accused of conning Murithi Kinyua from Kirinyaga County a sum of 300,000 shillings with a promise to help his 21-year-old son Edwin Kinyua to join the military.
I want you to confirm to this court that the 300,000 in question was not your money.
The money was allegedly deposited into his cooperative bank account in December 2019 when the offense was allegedly committed.
You confirm to court that at the time you had decided to give the 300,000, it was not for purposes of recruitment. Confirm?
In the second count, the 40-year-old was further accused of conning Nelson Kabwere Mandela a sum of 180,000 shillings with a promise to also offer him a state job.
True or not true?
According to the prosecution, the military police sergeant allegedly committed the offences while at his office at the Department of Defence in Hurlingham, Nairobi.
The work which you were promised to be given, was it a military job?
Isiolo Law Court's Chief Magistrate Samuel Mungai adjourned the hearing to February 18, 2021, when the third witness is expected to appear before the court. Ben Chumba, reporting for Channel 1 News.
Pupils and teachers at Urim Primary School in Siaya County are staring at a bleak future owing to the dilapidated structures in the institution. The school lacks basic amenities required for optimum performance. The most outstanding issue is that teachers and pupils have nowhere to go if they want to go for a call of nature.
Welcome to Urim Primary School, situated in Central Alego, Usonga constituency.
Make our body clean and to kill germs, isn't it? To kill the germs.
The school that initially had a population of 120 pupils has been experiencing a mass exodus of pupils and teachers. The institution faces a myriad of challenges, including lack of enough classroom and toilets. Pupils also suffer from jiga infestation. The few classrooms available are on the verge of collapse. Single rooms meant to host one classroom are partitioned by old iron sheets to accommodate 2 classes. Patricia Akech-Ger, a parent at the school, says that it has been difficult to keep teachers at the institution.
Madarasa pia yana vumbi, bado inasiribwa na cow dung, kitu ambacho sehemu nyingi siku hizi hakifanyiki. Hiyo inasababisha hata walimu wakiletwa kwa hii shule wanakimbia. Wakifika wakaona madarasa jinsi yalivyo, wanakimbia kwa sababu wakati wa jua nyingi tuna jiggers. Jiggers inauma hata walimu pia. Kwa hiyo walimu wanakimbia.
According to the school chairman, Joseph Omondi Odima, efforts to improve the infrastructure has over the years failed owing to high poverty levels within the community.
Shida kwa hii shule ni classroom, hakuna choo, hata ofisi mzuri hakuna, na CDC pia hakuna. Watoto yetu ile mchanga hakuna kitu, anasoma mahali mbaya.
A comfortable teacher will definitely teach better, and that is what the union stands for, because we want the good life of teachers and children.
Urim Primary School head teacher Pamela Otondo, who is hardly 5 months old in the institution, says the 9 teachers she has are determined to work, but the environment is not conducive.
I pray, and I'm saying that if anyone comes to our assistance just to improve the structure, I believe God will bless anyone who is ready to stand with us to see this innocent child being at a better place like any other child in Kenya.
The sorry state at this school has led to dropping of academic standards. Ruth Wamboy for Channel 1 News.
Thank you, Ruth Wamboy, for that report. You are watching Channel 1 Lunchtime News. We are taking a short break. But remember, this afternoon, we are engaging health experts as we get more insight on matters in regards to health matters and also medical tourism. Continue interacting with us on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. See you after this break.
Malaria ni ugonjwa hatari sana unaoua watu wengi hapa Kenya. Japo kuko na korona, hatari ya malaria bado iko. Mtoto huyu alikuwa na joto jingi, kutetemeka, kuumwa na viungo na uchovu. Alikimbizwa hospitali ya umma ambako sheria za COVID-19 huzingatiwa na ni salama kwa shughuli ya upimaji. Vipimo vilionyesha kuwa ana malaria, na papo hapo daktari akampa dawa za malaria na kumshauri azimalize, na ili kujikinga wawe wakilala ndani ya neti iliyotibiwa. Malaria husambazwa na mbu. Walio hatarini ni watoto wa chini ya miaka 5 na akina mama wajawazito. Kupimwa na kutibiwa ni bure katika hospitali zote za umma. Usisahau adui malaria. Zero malaria huanza na mimi. Chukua jukumu leo. Komesha malaria. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na Wizara ya Afya.
Mwaka mpya na vitu noma zaidi kwenye quickbit.co.ke. Siku ya leo tunakupa Von 4 burner gas cooker.
Oh yes, na tunakuambia ni rahisi zaidi. Enda kwenye simu yako, lipa na M-Pesa, paybill number 4032353 4032353. Kisha enda kwenye account, ekelea kodi ni CK56 CK94, alafu amount ni 20 bob peke yake.
Alafu kumbuka utaekelea pin yako. Hivyo ndivyo utakuwa umekelea bid kwenye quickbid.co.ke. Ni bidhaa bora zaidi kwenye bei ya nini?
Chini kwa chini. Chini kwa chini.
Jiunga na QuickBid, enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16, kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Next on.
Mwa penye umekujaga. Hivyo ndivyo tunataka. Na ujua birthday, na ushuka kibeti
I'm really sorry, Chief. I will find the person behind this.
Just, asikudanganya hata kidogo.
They won't believe you anyway. Please, just leave. Leave as well.
Excuse me?
Hi guys. Hi, Thief.
Sasa anataka wakae na mtu ndio aweze hiyo mawazo ipunguke kidogo.
Welcome back. Nyandarua Governor Francis Kimemia has condemned the recent demolitions business premises in Olkalau town by the Kenya Railways Corporation, terming the act as inhumane and uncalled for. The Nyandarua governor now wants the Kenya Railways Corporation management to look into ways of compensating those with genuine leases.
On Tuesday this week, Kenya Railways moved in with bulldozers and embarked on demolitions of kiosks and business premises in Old Kalau town, where property worth millions of shillings was brought down in move to reclaim parts of its land reserve. At least 3,000 traders within the town were affected. Nyandarua Governor Francis Kimemia has weighed into the matter, saying the Kenya Railway Corporation ought to have given the business people ample time to clear their wares, adding the corporation should have also consulted with the local leadership for a way forward.
Haikuwa haja kubomoa, kupiga chuma na hiyo vitu. Ilihitaji tu siku moja tu peke yake. Kama governor niambiwe, mimi sikuambiwa. Kama governor niambiwe, governor watu yako wanatakikana watoke kwa railway, basi tukawaambia kwa heshima, toeni mali yenu. Na walikuwa wameanza kutoa wakati walikoja hata kuvunjiwa.
The governor now wants the management to look into ways of compensating those with genuine leases.
County Commissioner alienda akasimamisha hiyo bomoaji ili wananchi wetu waweze kutoa mali yao, lakini ile mali nyingine County Commissioner imebomolewa ni mali iko na lease. Wako na lease ambao bado zinaendelea na approvals. Hiyo wata sort out na railway na natumaini watakuwa compensated kama vile watu wengine wao compensated wakati mali yao imeharibiwa.
The businesses are located in area reserved by the KRC to create space for expansion and rehabilitation of the Gilgil-Nyahururu railway line, a project that kicked off last year. For Channel 1 News, I'm Jacqueline Masharia.
Police in Naivasha have banned Bang with a street value of 81 million shillings after obtaining a court order to destroy the howl. The bang was recovered last week in the vast Kidong Ranch in Maimayu area following a sting of operation by security officers who arrested 14 suspects, among them a woman. The suspects have since been arraigned in court.
Naivasha Chief Magistrate Kennedy Bidali issued the order to ban the bang while denying the suspect's bond following a request by the prosecution. During the exercise, the members of the public were kept at bay as the drugs went up in smoke. Naivasha Sub-County Commissioner Muchuma Kisilu, who supervised the exercise at Naivasha dam site, confirmed that the bang had been planted in 1-acre plantation with the nearby caves used as the drying sites. Kisilu said they are seeking more suspects in relation to the incident.
Wananchi wenye nia njema wakati wanaripoti yote, aidha ni ya kulimwa kama hii ambayo tumeweza kung'oa ama ni kwa ile ambayo inauzwa mtaani, tupashwe ripoti kwa sababu tuko tayari kabisa kudeal na this menace.
Kisilu challenged members of the public to volunteer information of the use of bang among youths, which was on the rise. Patricia Widera for Channel 1 News.
The Building Bridges Initiative participation continues across the country. My colleague Suleiman Yeri is in the county of Nairobi at the County Assembly, and he is following up on developments from that end. Yeri, good afternoon. What do you have for us?
Thanks very much, Irene. Muchuma back from Broadcasting House, and we are coming to you live from the County Assembly of Nairobi, where today members of the County Assembly of Nairobi are expected to deliberate and also discuss the referendum constitutional bill 2020. Yesterday we saw the climax of the public participation, which have been going around in every county assembly or in every county in the country. Nairobi reaching its climax yesterday, and today the members of County Assembly will be sitting down at around 2:30 p.m. to discuss the matters. And we will be talking to Roysambu member of County Assembly, Peter Warutere, who is also the chair of the Health Committee, to tell us more. How has been the mood at the ground? How have the people received the BBI, and how are the people informed, and also how the issues in the BBI were dissected to them? And welcome, Mheshimiwa Warutere. Maybe you can tell us, how has the BBI public participation been in the county?
Thank you very much. For the last 7 days, we started the public participation for this Constitution Bill 2020. And it's, I think so far so good. From when we started, right from Luisambo all the way to the town hall meeting that was the culmination of this bill yesterday. At the look of things, the Wajiko and Kenyans in general, Nairobians in general, have spoken candidly with one voice, and I can tell you for free that today, being the culmination of the events that has taken place for the last 7 days, we are coming in not to really like debate this bill, but to pass the bill as it is. We've spoken to our people. They are ready. They have been educated on the key components of this bill. They have seen the many hanging fruits, low as they may be. What you can touch, we've been able to touch. What we can feel, we have felt it. And I can tell you, we've done a good job in Nairobi. I am glad even from Mount Kenya, where I come from, the feeling is the same. I've seen what was happening in Murang'a. I saw what happened in Nyeri, my home country, early this morning. And therefore, we are excited. We can only wait for time so that at least we can dispense off with this business. Today, I can tell you for sure that we are going to pass the bill as it is. Nairobi being the mother of all the counties, all eyes are focused here. But the good thing about it is like we don't even have one person who is opposing this bill. I was just waiting for the time so that we can pass the bill and go to the next business.
So how is the mood? It's like you're saying that the mood is like this bill will pass anonymously without any rejection or people objecting it.
The truth of the matter is like when you look at this bill in its entirety, when we talk about getting 4 constituencies within Nairobi County, when we talk about 5% of our equity fund coming to the grassroots. That I have talked about fruits that you can feel, fruits that you can see. Is a question of devolving money to Machinani, and that being the case, then Wajiko has no reason whatsoever to reject this bill. Otherwise, after close consultation with the people, I can tell you for free, Nairobi is going to be the biggest gainer. We are talking about 1 shilling, 1 shilling, 1 volt, which is the best thing possible. And therefore, having looked at this bill, we went and were able to talk to our people. And then having listened to what the bill has for them, then I can tell you for free, 1 vote, 1 shilling per person. It's going to pass this day. It's going to pass 100% to the last person who will be that assembly. Otherwise, we are excited, particularly allow me to also echo what is happening in our region of Mount Kenya. It's like for some time, looks like people had not gotten to the contents of this bill. I think it's been a case of whereby we are levied so much in terms of leasing revenue that has not been matched. And therefore,
sorry, Muchuma, I'll have to interrupt you now and go back to studio. And thanks very much for your remarks. That has been Peter Warutere, who is the MCA for Roysambu, giving us his insight on the BBI referendum bill, which will be debated in Parliament in the County Assembly today afternoon, giving his hopes that it will pass anonymously. Back to you in studio, Irene Muchuma.
Thank you, Yeri. Good to have you. Now, this afternoon, Kisii County has joined the list of those counties that have passed the Building Bridges Initiative bill. And right now, we are moving to the county of Nyeri. My colleague, Kevin Washira, is joining other Kenyans in the commemoration of Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi, and it is a celebration being done at Tetu Sub-County, and it's being graced by Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga. And right now, he is engaging, among others, the freedom fighters. Let's listen in.
Wakati mlikuwa pale msituni, wewe kama field marshal, kuna wale wenye walikuanga chini yako, kuna wale wenye walikuwa masoja chini yako. Sasa wale wenye walikuwa chini yako walikuwa wanadumisha heshima, kulikuanga na kuheshimu viongozi. Saa hii Kenya ya leo tumeanza kuona kuna mtindo yenye inakuja, watu hawaheshimu viongozi, watu wanatusi viongozi. Wewe kama field marshal unaweza waeleza nini hao?
Ni maheshime wa kiongozi. Mtu yote hata kama ni mtoto kanazaleo na kana mateo madaraka aheshime hiyo. Ate uhorojo. Ucho ohetu haure. Onako ni kana kanini gate no gathikire. Gathie na mbere na ukire ona ungiona takaragwa no ukoe nigetha gahote guthii na mbere na urojio.
Asante sana field marshal, nimeshukuru sana. Kiongozi haya nieleze.
Mimi naitwa Eliud Rwale na mimi nipewa mama huyu naitwa field marshal Kirima ni Kenyatta mwenyewe katika Lorengo Stadium. Na kutoka saa hii mimi nachunga yeye nikiwa bodyguard yake mwaka hiyo yote tunakaa na yeye hata nikiwa kwa serikali mimi nachunga yeye.
Asante sana. Now we are joined by Kaya Elder straight from the Coast Province. Come closer. You've come from Coast Province. Yeah. What has motivated you to come to this occasion?
Kwanza ningependa kutoa kwa majina, naitwa Johnson Kitano Kolani. Mimi ni chief coordinator wa Mijikenda Kaya Elders pani nzima. Tumeweza kupata mwaliko wa Dedan Kimathi Foundation kwa kupitia kwa Evelyn Wanjugu. Mama huyu aliweza kutugusa moyo sana wakati alipokuja Coast na kumtambua Mikatilili wa Menza ambao alikuwa ni shujaa wetu wa Kimijikenda, na akatuonyesha moyo mkubwa kwamba akamtambua Mikatilili wa Menza na akatuletea kupanda miti katika kaya zetu tatu. Ndipo akaona ni bora zaidi aweze kutuleta huku. Tumekuja kaunti 4 kuanzia kaunti ya Lamu, kaunti ya Tana River na kaunti ya Kilifi na kaunti ya Kwale kwa ajili kuja kusherekea mashujaa wetu, kwamba watu wengi hawatambui mashujaa na viongozi wengi wanawakejeli wa mashujaa. Unakuta wanaangikwa katika mabanaa lakini hawana ule moyo wa kujua hawa ndio waliokomboa Kenya. Ndio ikatuona sisi kuchukua mvuto kutoka kule kuja shirikiana. Kwa hivyo tunasema ni asante kwamba ikiwa viongozi watawakubali na kufikiria Kenya ilitoka wapi, tutaweza kuenda mbele bila matusi na kuheshimu viongozi walio mamlakani. Kwa hivyo inatuonyesha picha wazi kwamba tutakaposhirikiana na viongozi walio mamlakani, hasa na wale na kukumbuka kumbukumbu waliopigania uhuru wa nchi kina nani, haki viongozi wataheshimu Kenya na wataheshimu viongozi mamlakani ili tuende mbele.
Asante sana. Now those are just some of the remarks that we are getting here. We are here at Dedan Kimathi Foundation. This is the residence of Mokami Kimathi, wife to Dedan Kimathi. We are celebrating 64 years since Dedan Kimathi left us, and we've talked to Kaya Elder, we've talked to Field Marshal Muthoni Kirema, who was with Dedan Kimathi in the forest for 8 years in the push for freedom for this country. Now we are expecting Nyandarua Governor Francis Kimemia will also grace this event. The national government is also well represented here, and we'll be giving you update as time goes by on what is happening here at Jambini, Nyandarua County. Back to your studio.
Thank you, Kevin Washira, and that is from the county of Nyandarua and not Nyeri, as earlier mentioned. His Excellency, the Governor for Nyandarua County, Francis Kimemia, is expected to grace the event. These as thousands converge to commemorate the 64th memorial for the late freedom fighter, Dedan Kimathi. Let's do business news. Those in the digital space are banking the enactment of the Startup Bill 2020 to grow innovations in the country and tap growing demand for digital solutions. Regina Manyara has more details on that.
We're innovating to connect people to markets
we're innovating cash transfer, we're innovating, water solutions, and we are ahead in many respects. And just imagine the amount of innovations that have come up on this continent, despite, limited penetration of technology. Imagine what would happen if we are able to give all our children, all our young people access to technology, if government is able to create an enabling environment for us to have, good internet, for us to have these devices cheaply. Just imagine what would come out from the continent. So that's why I see this as an amazing opportunity for us as Africa, and especially in this very important space. It's time for us to showcase solutions.
The Startup Bill 2020 seeks to facilitate the registration of startups and creating linkages for them to access capital from financial institutions and investors.
Such that you don't all have to go to Kitengela. In Kenya, we have a place called Kitengela where we have a special economic zone, or Konza City. But wherever you are, then your business, once it's registered as recognized as a startup in the tech space, then get certain incentives, from tax incentives, from limited need for numerous licenses, and a de-risking for your investors. Because the kind of money that needs to come into these startups won't be provided by government. But investors, angel investors or wherever in the world want to know, if I put money in this young man's startup, I can recoup 30% in case it goes bust, in case it doesn't work. And with that, we can be able to attract a lot of capital. So conversations are going on around that. It's been republished, and I hope that becomes law.
Speaking at the Africa Digital Finance Summit, Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja urged the players to take advantage of the current unique opportunity to rapidly harness the digital technology to build more prosperous and equitable societies for all.
As Africa arises, the continent is rapidly growing as a consumer of the digital economy, and it's time for us to bring this conversation to Kenya, specifically Kenya because Kenya is a land of manifestation.
It is equally important to note that the digital financial services have accelerated financial inclusion worldwide, improving e-commerce output and safety, while enhancing Kenya's competitiveness globally.
Introduction of the digital service tax did not augur well with some of the players in that space who expressed their reservation about the levy and called for its review.
This digital service tax, I think that is a very archaic way of trying to sort out or trying to create revenue. And you see, some of these things happen when we don't get into those spaces to educate. So you try and do new things in an old kind of way, and you stifle this growth. And that's a miss, and that's something I'm working on. And I give a commitment to really work on, just educating my colleagues on which is the best way to move forward with respect to getting revenue from that kind of business. Because for many, you're stifling them before they start.
Regina Manyara reporting for Channel 1 Business.
Kenya does not have any maize stocks at the National Produce and Cereals Board depots after 4 million bags from the food reserves were cleared in 2019 and 2020. This has prompted NCPB to create a food reserve division following the disbandment of the Strategic Food Reserve.
Prior to sometime in June last year, we had approximately 4 million worth of bags for strategic food stocks. The maize was sold to millers in 2019 and early 2020. So right now we don't have strategic food stocks within our reserves. However, we are engaging the government to see how best we can get resources for the National Food Reserve to be able to get funding to buy strategic food stocks. Our target was 1 million bags during this harvest season. We have opened our stores across the country, and we have managed to buy approximately 200,000 bags. That is what we have achieved, but we are seeing a lot of trucks. If you go to Eldoret today or Moi's Bridge, you'll find a lot of trucks which are lined up actually to deliver maize to NCPB. So we are looking at hitting our target of 1 million bags in the next maybe 3 weeks or so.
mpya na vitu noma zaidi kwenye quickbit.co.ke. Siku ya leo tunakupa Von 4 burner gas cooker.
Oh yes, na tunakuambia ni rahisi zaidi. Enda kwenye simu yako, lipa na M-Pesa, paybill number 4032353 4032353. Kisha enda kwenye account, ekelea kodi ni CK56 CK94, alafu amount ni 20 bob peke yake.
Alafu kumbuka utaekelea pin yako. Hivyo ndivyo utakuwa umekelea bid kwenye quickbit.co.ke. Ni bidhaa bora zaidi kwenye bei ya nini?
Chini kwa chini. Chini kwa chini.
Jiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio ununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
The stage is set for the next football star from Africa to emerge at the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Watch all the games live on KBC Channel 1 as 12 countries battle out for the ultimate prize of becoming champions of Africa. Raw talent, raw skills, ultimate technique. From Africa's finest and capped talent, witness footballing dreams come alive at the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations from 14th of February to 6th of March 2021. Live from Mauritania and exclusively on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Welcome back. You're watching Channel 1 News, and this afternoon, this is going to be the most interactive part of this bulletin. We're going to discuss health matters and also medical tourism. Did you know more than 10,000 people travel out of the country to seek medication, and in this, they spend more than 10 billion shillings. What attributes to this? And where are we heading to as the country? In this discussion, I'm engaging Colombia Africa Clinical Coordinator, Dr. Linda Thorpe, to discuss other matters, health, tourism, and medical concerns. Now, to kick us off, why do we have non-communicable diseases accounting to over half of the occupation in our hospitals in the country?
Well, the majority of people who are having non-communicable diseases are people that probably have not been screened in the past. So this accounts for a lot, because the screening should actually take place a lot earlier than it is taking place. Things like high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney disease, all things which cause admissions into hospital, things like stroke and cardiovascular disease like heart attacks, all those things are potentially preventable. Obviously, as a population, luckily we're all living a lot older than we used to live, so these things now account for more problems as we get older. There's also things like cancer, which there are very good screening programs, such as for breast cancer, for cervical cancer, and also actually now for colon cancer. So if these were addressed at earlier times and at the right time, then we would probably see that this number of issues with communicable diseases and admissions would drop. We know that across the world, actually, non-communicable diseases, such as the ischemic heart diseases and strokes are increasing, whereas the communicable diseases, such as all the infectious diseases, is actually decreasing. So I think we also now have to turn our attention onto these lifestyle preventing diseases.
And I understand you picked Kenya as the first country in Africa, as much as Colombia is in other parts of the world. Why did you settle on Kenya? And in this country, we have seen rising cases of people with cancer and diabetes traveling out of the country. For the period that you've been in the country, having come up with 2 facilities, one in Parklands and the other one in Lavington, why the rising cases of people traveling out of the country?
Okay, well, it's interesting. Yes, we have chosen Kenya as the first port of call, if you like, in Africa. As we know, it's very centrally placed. It's headquarters for a lot of international companies as well. People actually come into Kenya from abroad in the African region to seek more tertiary care. We have some good tertiary care hospitals here. So Kenya actually is an attraction for medical care, as well as people leaving Kenya for medical care. The interesting point here is that people who go and seek medical care abroad, sometimes they don't actually need to. It's just that other things prevent them from staying in Kenya. One is cost. So obviously healthcare has to be affordable for people to stay here, and abroad this healthcare can actually be more cost effective. The other thing is sometimes people would rather go abroad because they've seen better results from maybe other patients or friends and are told that they shouldn't stay here, they should leave. The medical facilities in Kenya is improving all the time, and actually we have some world-class facilities. So in regards to facilitation expertise, Kenya is actually vastly improving and should actually be somewhere where, you know, patients should think about and consider staying. We, as I said, we also have a lot of expertise here, and sometimes, to be honest, the expertise may not be as as important or experienced, I should say, as some places abroad where perhaps they do a lot more of that particular procedure. Sometimes we do miss the infrastructure as well. So it really depends on what it is, but I think the good take-home message would be that, you know, Nairobi and Kenya's healthcare standard is very, very good and improving all the time.
From the way you have just mentioned, we also receive other patients from other countries. What could be the percentage, if there is any, that travel from other countries to seek medication to Kenya, according to your analysis report?
Okay, well, I'm sorry that I can't give you an exact percentage, except that there is a lot of people that do see Kenya as a hub, especially for the international companies that are around. They may come and fly into Nairobi first to seek treatment, and if that is not appropriate, then they may fly into Nairobi and then fly out. It all depends, really. But as I said, we've got a great medical facilities in Nairobi, and we've got the expertise here most of the time. Sometimes we don't, and that's when patients may travel out if there is no choice.
And apart from these other diseases, cancer, diabetes, and other non-communicable diseases, there is great concern, health experts urging us to take part in healthy living and also ensure that we go for these wellness programs. What is your take in regards to this? Is it a necessity?
Well, basically, lifestyle is the fundamentals of all disease processes. So if you are overweight, or you take too much sugar, or you don't exercise, then this will obviously lead you to potentially have issues like the cardiovascular disease, ischemic heart disease, that's the same thing, and also cerebral vascular disease and diabetes. So that is very fundamental. Now, in order to make lifestyle changes, you have to know that these are going on in your body, and the best way to know that is to personalize your own healthcare and to go for healthcare checks. And these involve things like checking your blood pressure, because this is what we call the silent killer. So you won't know your blood pressure is actually raised until you actually have a check, because it does not have any symptoms. Things like diabetes, if caught early, it's much more likely to be a successful outcome, because the longer you have untreated diabetes, the worse your outcomes are in the future. All these issues, if you take care of them early, are something that shouldn't have a great impact on your longevity in life. And as we know, we're living longer these days. The other things, such as screening for cancers, is really important, especially in women, for cervical cancer and for breast cancers. These things done early obviously lead to a better outcome. Cervical cancer is totally curable, and so is breast cancer if they are caught early. The issues come when they're caught very late. Things like kidney disease, which again you may not pick up, but can be picked up at very early stages with urine tests and also blood tests, can be treated and then issues prevented in the long run.
As we come to the close, what is your take when it comes to capacity in Kenya, now that you've said that those people who travel to Kenya to seek medication, do we have capacity to handle these? These, as you also make your closing remarks.
Well, capacity is always growing in countries like Kenya, and we are seeing a return of some of the specialists that have actually left to go and train abroad and come back. I'm sure on the horizon there will be new hospitals which will increase the capacity. Obviously, the hospitals here rely on the clientele from here mainly, and it's only a few specialised cases that will come in for secondary care. We do see international patients coming in for the health checks, which come to Colombia, Africa. And this is mainly because it's a trusted centre, and the cost of the health checks is very affordable. So people should go and get their health checks done, and they might be surprised at how cheap and affordable the health checks are across the board. Obviously, health checks are designed for specific age groups as well. So, you know, you may not need such an expensive health check at 30 as you would do, for instance, at 50, when more things are tested, because that's more when you become at risk.
Thank you, Dr. Linda. We would love to engage you more, but time is not on our side. We would like to invite you once again. That is Dr. Linda Thorpe discussing to us medical matters here in the country and also across the globe. He is the Colombia Africa Clinical Coordinator. Now we are